Welcome back to the insightful world, where every video takes you on a journey of discovery and insight. We are thrilled to have you back and can't wait to share even more fascinating stories and facts with you. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of knowledge together. The Pacific Ocean is an incredibly vast body of water, covering about one-third of the Earth's entire surface, and it's bigger than all of the land on Earth combined, except for a few scattered islands. Today I will tell you about a person who spent 438 days lost at sea. This guy went out at sea to spend the next 30 hours. A storm hit him at sea and his boat drifted out into the Pacific Ocean. He had to bear the loss of his only partner on the boat after 4 months. After being found, he was alleged to have cannibalized on the corpse of his boatmate. He currently holds a world record that he achieved by accident and that probably nobody wants to beat: the longest time spent being lost at sea against all odds. He somehow survived being lost for 438 days in the Pacific, so his record probably won't be beaten anytime soon. He spent 438 days at sea, eating raw meat of sharks, baby whales, and turtles. Most of the time, when there was no rain and hence no water to drink, he relied on drinking turtle blood and his own urine. This is the fascinating story of a guy named José Salvador Alvarenga, and the other person with him on the boat was Ezequiel Cordoba. Before moving to the fascinating story, don't miss out on a single episode of our channel where we bring you the most interesting and captivating facts and stories from around the world. Hit that subscribe button and let the learning begin. In 2012, Alvarenga was an experienced fisherman in Mexico. On 17th November, he and another guy named Ezequiel Cordoba departed together on their small fishing boat from the tiny fishing village of Costa Azul on the Mexican Pacific coast. They planned to only work for a 30 hours fishing shift, so their boat was small and not equipped for the nightmare that would come. It was basically a canoe with no roof or cabin, was only 7 meters long, and only had one small motor and a refrigerator for storing their fish. They knew that a storm was coming near the area. Still, fishermen in these parts of Mexico can earn enough money in a day to support themselves for an entire week, so they decided to take their chances and traveled 120 kilometers away from the coast to work at 1 a.m. The storm hit them and threatened to sink their boats. In a panic, the two men cut their fishing lines and dropped everything they caught, and most of their gear overboard to make themselves more maneuverable. They were 6 hours away from the coast, so they traveled through the storm and the night in a desperate attempt to return by 7 a.m. They were only 24 kilometers away from the coast and could see mountains on the horizon, but awful luck struck them, and their motor died. Without any paddles, oars or sails, the powerful wind began pushing their boat back toward the ocean. Their onboard radio still thankfully worked, so they frantically reported their position to their boss, who responded by saying that he was coming, but their battery died, and all they heard afterward was silence. Now they are alone in the ocean without any supplies left on board. They were forced to catch tiny fish or birds that landed on their boat with their bare hands for food. They grabbed plastic bottles that they found floating nearby them and used them to collect rainwater for drinking water. But during long periods of no rain, they were forced to mostly drink the blood of turtles that they caught with their hands or their own urine. It's easy to understand how somebody could go insane under these conditions. The other guy, Cordoba, gave up hope about 4 months into their isolation and became suicidal. He got sick from all of the raw food that they were eating and refused to eat, eventually starving to death. Alvarenga was then all alone in the middle of nowhere with no other human in sight as far as the horizon could see. A tiny speck inside of the enormous Pacific. The Central Pacific, where he was somewhere at, is a very quiet part of the world, where ships rarely come through this area. But even still, he claims to have encountered one when he was alone. A cargo ship apparently passed right by him, and 4 men on board spotted him and waved, but they just kept moving past him and never even bothered to stop. Imagine how frustrated he would have been again. If you were lost for months, you were all alone and you finally spotted rescue, but they just ignored you and kept on moving. 11 months in, and Alvarenga had traveled about 8,000 kilometers across the ocean in his tiny boat. In the 14th month at sea, Alvarenga saw some coconuts floating accompanied by some birds. Bird sightings mean that land is close by. And that's exactly what happened with Alvarenga. He didn't know where he was, but he now had hope to see some land close by. And the land was nearby for sure, as he sighted the small island of Eben Atoll shortly. However, according to Alvarenga, he immediately became afraid of losing this chance to get to the land because he didn't even have oars to steer his boat. But slowly, he drifted so close to the land that he jumped off the boat and swam to the island. He saw a small house on the island and knocked on the door. According to the residents of the house, they saw a naked man with a long beard, long mustache, and very long head hair. This man appeared to suffer from malnutrition and was shouting in Spanish. This was Alvarenga, found alive on Eben Atoll on 30th January 2014. The residents informed the authorities, and within a few days, the news went viral of a man found after 14 months at sea. According to Alvarenga, he had spent 15 lunar cycles at sea. That comes to a tally of 438 days. Of course, this story was unbelievable, and he was obviously cross-questioned. Even medical experts were consulted to verify the story. This story faced some skepticism initially. Giant publications like The Guardian and Time cross-questioned him. They asked medical experts' opinions on how a person could stay alive for 438 days on raw fish, turtle blood, jellyfish, rainwater, and urine. And how was this person still healthy enough? Anyway, I will take this story as a miracle. Medical experts also believed that his food did contain vitamins. Turtle flesh and blood do have vitamin C and some other necessary nutrition that we usually get from vegetables. After 11 days in a hospital, Alvarenga was deemed healthy enough to return to El Salvador. However, he was diagnosed with anemia, had trouble sleeping, and developed a fear of water. Alvarenga's parents, who had not been in contact with him for years, had feared he was dead long before he went missing, and they were overjoyed to discover he was still alive. His father said that he had prayed for his son while he was missing. Upon hearing that her father had been found, his daughter said that after he returned home, the first thing I will do is hug him and kiss him. Wow, what an incredible story of survival and determination. Mr. Alvarenga's journey at sea for 438 days is truly a miracle and a testament to the human will to survive. The fact that he was able to stay alive for so long on such limited resources is nothing short of astounding. It makes one wonder about the incredible resilience of the human body and spirit. We hope you enjoyed this story as much as we did, and it serves as a reminder to never give up hope, no matter how dire the circumstances may seem. If you're looking for more inspiring and thought-provoking content, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we will see you again soon.